So this year's summer we are gonna get Final Fantasy Freddy's in the Dead by Daylight. Finally, we have been waiting for this quite a while because I would say it's a match made in heaven because Final Fantasy Freddy's is one of the most popular horror games out there nowadays. At least I feel like. And every time when there's a new Final Fantasy Freddy's game, there's always hype, even though maybe the game is not amazing or good state when launching, but still people are excited for the game because in the end of the day they love it and it will get fixed probably. Like Final Fantasy Freddy's chapter got me thinking what other chapters there have been. So this is just me speculating what chapters or what the licensed killers, that stuff will be getting into the game. When speaking about licensed chapters, there's at least two that are instantly in my mind that I want. Pennywise and Jason. With Jason, I would say the problem is the license holder. The copyright owner is the biggest problem because it's a mess. Victor Miller, I believe it's the guy's name. He won the legal battle for the original script of the first Friday movie. So, and he has now the rights of the other movies as well. So in the end, maybe that's the problem why Jason hasn't been added into Dead by Daylight, or it's been solved. Maybe it's on the works. Like maybe they are working on it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would love it to be in the game, of course. But how kind of a chapter it would be? In my opinion, it probably would be like same as Leatherface. Yes, there is Tommy Jarvis, and somebody would say that would be perfect survivor, but like I don't see Friday 13th chapter as a like survivor and killer. Maybe it's a weird take, but I just don't see it that way for some reason. It's just I see that chapter as its only killer-wise, because Jason is the biggest highlight of the series, obviously. But if Tommy Jarvis gets released as well, I don't mind it at all. At all, of course. But how, like, let's just imagine that Jason will be released again standalone. What kind of a powers he will have, and what kind of like a killer in of itself and perks he had. I would say he's probably similar to Trapper, and I kind of hate the idea that Jason will be released as a skin to Trapper. Yeah, I know that Trapper is basically the same kind of a killer. He was basically made as a placeholder, kind of like ish, to Jason. Not placeholder, but like as their own version of Jason. But Jason is one of the biggest horror figure out there, so that would be first of all disappointing to a lot of fans. Yeah, people would buy the skin. I would buy the skin. People would buy that skin, yes, of course. But if I want to play Jason, I don't want to play as a Trapper. I'm gonna play as the abilities of Jason. I would say, like I said, they will be similar but different ways. Jason could use a lot of more traps. Like he could use a crossbow that kind of similar to Deathslinger, but instead of Deathslinger, like get with his harpoon grappling survivors closer to Deathslinger itself. I would say with like Jason's crossbow, for example, survivors will be just lower compared to like Deathslinger. And he could have like similar powers to Vecna. I mean that he has the four, like the freaking weapon group, the four abilities. But like Jason has his own four abilities compared to like Vecna. Like a crossbow that slows survivors, normal like a trap element that injures survivors, a spear or a noise filter that if he can put to between openings, and if a survivor walks past that, it makes sounds effect, like say kind of same as like generator blowing up, a killer gets a notification with that. Similar to that. And the fourth one, kind of like, maybe this is a bad idea, but like kind of like but Light's abilities, but he gets faster and faster and faster over time in a chase. I don't know if that's a good idea, that I just throw these ideas from my mind, but like of course it doesn't like snaps instantly gets like really fast, like really over time it gets faster and faster and faster and faster, and he could just switch between those abilities. Maybe I'm not also. If there's a survivor, I'm not going into their perks. There are too many perks to get it even to start. But from Friday, like I said, Pennywise will be next. Had this idea for Pennywise all as long as it has been said that he will be, as long as people have said that he should join Dead by Daylight. His power will be transformation, because he does that quite often in it movies and in the book and everything. Like he could transform to like a survivor, for example, and like out of the four survivors he could transform to one, and fake being a survivor. Maybe even fixed generators, but way more slow than normal survivor. The normal hands only, not using a toolbox or anything like that. Like it's slower, like, and the way he could get the freaking transformation power is that he uses his normal attacks first. Like first to get like a DNA sample from out of there, and then use that as a transformation mode. And that transformation could be like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds or something like that. There will be signs that this survivor is a fake one. That it's not like exactly the same. It's similar to the real survivor, but there will be signs that it will be fake. Or it's Pennywise in disguise. Maybe, I don't know, a balloon somewhere around that place where you are and this other survivor is. Maybe something like that. His map, there is sewers. We haven't, that's one also thing that I wanna see. A Dead by Daylight sewer map, which is, I would like to see that dark and gritty and like that. And maybe a little outside section somewhere. But like sewer map, one of my dreams in the game. Like Dead by Daylight's Pennywise chapter map will be there is sewers. And for survivors for It chapter will be not all of the Losers Gang members. Actually, yeah, maybe the leader of Loser Club will be the survivor. Bill will be the survivor because he's kind of the leader, or Mike because Mike stayed in the dairy like whole time, unlike everybody else who left. But still, maybe Mike or Bill. And of course, with Pennywise there will be skins like the older, like the miniseries Pennywise, medieval style of Pennywise, or a human version of Pennywise, and that stuff. And the other like Loser Club members will be skins. Same as like Resident Evil has been, with like Chris Redfield being a skin, Shiva being a skin, and others. Next up, I would say Candyman is also quite high up on the list. Rest in peace, Tony Lloyd. He was the actor who played Candyman, so rest in peace. With Candyman, I would see that as well, like being only killer chapter. Yeah, I know that the original movie would work as a like survivor, but like Candyman is the star of the show all the way down. And I know there has been in the first Candyman movie, Helen Lyle was quite important character in the first movie, but still like it's not the same as Laurie Strode, for example. He's the like equal to Michael Myers. I know Candyman will be standalone chapter as a killer, and I would see him like kind of like using mirrors as a like teleportation device, and or like he could be stalking you, like kind of like Michael Myers, but he has to stalk you to a certain point to attack you. Candyman is quite difficult to get actually good on, because the concept, like you have to say Candyman three times in front of a mirror to appear. So I want to see mirrors to be in the maps when you are going against Candyman. But like how you put that, it's difficult to say. But like to do something with mirrors, I would like to see. And you could counter him with like fire. I would say that's probably the gameplay loop with him. Next one I would like to see is Krampus. I'm surprised that I know that there is, I believe, Krampus skins for killers, but I would like to see whole Krampus killer, like, because Krampus is quite known, like a mythological creature, like a story creature, that people know Krampus without like seeing any movies or anything like that. Would be instant hit, I would say. I would see people would like that, but how you put that and what kind of a killer he will be, that's a difficult to say. Maybe he's kind of like a polite type of character that rushes to different places with different abilities. Maybe that's the guy, or something like that. It's difficult to say. Like I said, from Krampus, I would say I would like to see an other anime chapter. I don't know which one exactly. I would like to see from Conjuring universe, I believe it's called, or something like, I believe it's called that. There would be like, the Conjuring universe will be perfect for two characters like Annabella and the Nun. I know Chucky is the doll character, like an actual doll, because well, he is a doll. But like another one will be perfect. Like I would see Annabella like kind of like a Michael Myers type of a character, and that would be amazing to see. The Nun would be kind of like, I would say, Nurse, similar to Nurse, but way different, of course. The Nun could use teleportations to get different places. They are slower and they don't get as far like as the maximum like Nurse's teleportation, but still similar to that, I would say. From actual chapters, I would move to like skin chapters. Like I see these as a skins for characters. Not like Attack on Titan was example, even though I would love to see Attack on Titan as a whole chapter, but we didn't get that. But like Overlord anime will be, in my opinion, good. Like I would like to see Ainz as a skin, or Albedo as a skin, or Demiurge as a skin, or like Sebastian or Sebas like as a skin. Like there's so many like amazing characters from that show that could work as a skin. Like all the maids and that stuff. Shaltier, for example. Like there are so many characters from that game could be put as a skin. Like Attack on Titan was like Attack on Titan skins are, I would say, mostly hella good. Sabaton as a band would be quite good as a like skins. I would love that. Powerwolf would be amazing because well, I'm a huge fan. And those came to my mind when it comes to chapters, skins, and actual chapters that I personally would like to see in the whole game. Like, of course, I passed so many other chapters, but I don't want to get this video to like be freaking 40 minutes long, so I have to skip a few that I had in my mind. If you people want a sequel to this video, let me know in the comments. But if you haven't already, press the subscribe button, press the like button, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you are ever shopping in WaifuWares or Poggers Shop, use my code WalterCC on both. You will support your boy. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.